Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to GarageBand Weekly here on Studio Live today. In today's episode, we're going a little bit off script. We've got a few different topics. We're going to talk about subscriptions in iOS, how you can manage them easily, the iPad OS 16. Some folks are still having some issues with that one. We're going to talk powered USB hubs, freeing up space in iOS so that you can make sure you've got room for all your apps, all your GarageBand projects, and a whole lot more here on GarageBand Weekly. Hello to the folks who are here live. And I do want to say, as I do every time, if you do have a question, that's kind of the lifeblood of this show, is your questions. And you would have noticed last week that the majority of the videos that I put out were clips from this show and other Ask Me Anything and Q&A type shows, because what tends to happen is that folks come along to the live show, they'll ask a great question, and then we explore it and we answer it, and then I clip that out and I put that out. And a lot of folks who can't watch the whole 1 hour live streams or 2 hours sometimes, they can actually get hold of those little bits, and it makes it searchable and findable. So I wanted to put that out there and say a huge thank you to all of you for all of your wonderful questions. Remember, the only stupid question is the one you don't ask, because if you're thinking it, there's probably another 20 odd folks in the community who are thinking it too. Maybe they're a little shy. Maybe they don't want to ask about it because they don't want to feel like they're bothering people. But guess what? It is no bother. Just go ahead and do it. Let's just check that everything's working here. Yes, there's my iPad ready to rock and roll. We've got my screen there ready to go as well. So we're going to be able to dive in. G'day to the folks who are here live. Hello, Tommy Jack Music. Good to see you, my friend. Staying up late there in the UK for GarageBand Weekly. G'day, Joe and Barry Glenn. Yes, we're into Christmas mode now because we've got the Yoda Christmas, my only Christmas T-shirt, and I'm not even a big Star Trek fan. So go figure. Hello, Tommy MMA. Is that mixed martial arts? Are you do you like to create GarageBand by day and kick ass by night? That would be super cool if you did. I like it. Hello, Jade Star. Deep Gravity. Always good to see you, my friend. Thanks for dropping on by. Joe Motta is here as well. Hello, Joe. What do you know? I just got back from a Bloodhound show. So, like I said, today, the reason that we don't have all the segments and everything set up like we often do is, I'll open with this. I've been exhausted, and my brain has been the fuzziest and foggiest it's ever been. Don't get the dreaded lurgy if you can possibly avoid it. I know many of you already have. For those that have had it, you probably know if you had similar symptoms to me. You know what? The 5 days of coughing and spluttering weren't fun. I don't recommend those. But the 2 weeks afterwards so far, my energy levels have been a roller coaster. So I've woken up some days and I'm like, did I even go to sleep last night? I don't feel like I'm refreshed at all. And then I'll go and have a 2 hour nap, and then I'll wake up and I'll feel fine. And then it'll be like midnight and I won't be able to sleep. So yeah, I'm a little bit wired at the moment, but that's okay. I've got the famous Farmers Union iced coffee here keeping me company for the show today. So that will get us through it. I hope anyway. Hello, Jonson. Don't rate it, don't recommend it. Don't get it. If you can still I don't have it in my pocket now. But yeah, look, I don't care what your political leanings are or what you think about things, but just if you're in a crowded environment, just wear a friggin' mask or just stay out of the people's faces and don't get coughed on, because yeah, it ain't fun. Don't rate it. Let's talk music though. I just put out a short video. I've been taking a leaf out of the Jade Star playbook, because short form content, whether you love it or you hate it, it's kind of here to stay. That's what I'm getting out of this. When TikTok first came out and everyone was doing their vertical videos for 30 seconds and 60 seconds, I, like many people, especially people my age, went, nah, the kids these days with the vertical videos, it's never going to take... Guess what? It's taken off. And I was playing around with a AI. It's called, what is it called? Lensa. I've just started playing around with it. It's like one of these AI. Everything's AI these days, but I've been playing around with Lensa, which is an iPhone and an iPad app. You log into it. You put some photos in there, and then you start playing around with it, and then you can just do some things. It'll do photo retouching and touching up, and then it will, of course, upload all those photos to Russian gangsters. But apart from that, it seems like a cool app. And like many apps, it had a 7-day free trial. And I'm like, I like 7-day free trials, but you know what I don't like? I don't like day 8 when I forget to cancel it and they charge me $69 for a year's subscription. So I shared a video, a very quick short video that actually shows you how to do that. I'll link it here in the chat, and I'll just show it to you really quickly here because it's a very short video. There you go. It's it's from the same people who made Prisma, if you remember that. There you go. Cool. It seems pretty cool. Seems pretty cool. Thomas is foggy-headed enough without that, yeah. So there's the link. I've just thrown it here in the chat if you're here live. But the video itself over here, and part of this was to play around with shorts. I actually used the YouTube Shorts thing on iOS for the first time. Oh man, it's not good. It did a bunch of things. It didn't let me put a thumbnail on it. So if you jump over here, so if you're going to create a short, my recommendation is, because previous shorts that I've made, I've still put a regular thumbnail on there, because if you're still searching in YouTube, the thumbnail that comes up now is this, which I think just looks really shoddy because it's just a picture of my iPhone, and I don't really want that. But what you can do is if you upload it as a regular video, it'll still tag it as a short, but then you get access to things like the thumbnail. Whereas if you look at the details of this one and come down here, it's like, for now, you can't change the thumbnail on your short. And I'm like, why not? Because every other short that I've ever done, you can. So I don't really understand that. But all that being said, the video itself is pretty quick. It's 40 seconds, because what you can actually do, and I won't play the whole thing there, I'll play it in the background while I chat. What you can actually do is, once you've signed up to a subscription, if you just go into your Apple ID, there's a section in there that you'll see in a minute that has all your subscriptions. And this is one of the coolest things about iOS, is that you don't have to manage the subscriptions within the app or within the ecosystem. You don't have to answer those exit surveys when you're trying to get rid of something. If you ever try to cancel Netflix and it's like, we're sorry to see you go, just answer this 14-page survey and then we'll actually let you cancel it. Or worse than that, sometimes you have to phone. They're just like, oh, just call one of our cancellation specialists on this number and we'll help you cancel it. Nah, if you're in iOS and you've subscribed to something, you don't have to do any of that business. All you need to do is go into your iCloud, go into subscriptions, just search, just scroll down, search subscriptions, jump in there, and then whether it's your Disney Plus, your Netflix, your Hulu, your Apple Music, your Spotify, or any of these free trials that you may forget to cancel them immediately. Sign up for the free trial, cancel it. You still get to use it up until the date that free trial ends. But then, instead of it charging your credit card the $69, it does nothing. Yeah, you'll get some teaser emails and things saying, oh, we're sorry, could you want to come back? But you don't have to stay there, which I think it's good. Since adding shirts to my channel has exploded, best change I ever made. T-shirts? Button-up collared shirts? No, I know what you mean. Yeah, no, shorts, and look, I actually personally don't mind them now, because when I'm looking for stuff, when I want to know how to do a thing, so if I didn't know how to do that cancellation thing that I just showed you, if I saw a video that was 40 seconds that said how to do it, or one that was 7 minutes, guess which one I'm going to pick? Yeah, even if it's a vertical video. And in fact, when it's tutorials for iPhone, vertical video actually makes a heck of a lot of sense, apart from GarageBand tutorials. I haven't quite worked out how to get GarageBand tutorials to work doing it that way. Yeah, it's a good thing just to have in your kit bag. You won't need it all the time until you do. But yeah, when you're just thinking like, oh man, I'd really like to try that. And it's great for kids. If you've got kids, they will want to try these things. My daughter wanted to do the Discord Nitro thing, which was a 7-day trial. And I'm like, yep, but you're doing it through iOS. And then one of my other kids had this game that she's like, oh, you can do the premium thing. And I knew well and truly that she wouldn't care about it after 3 days anyway. So I said, yep, go for it. And then we signed her up, and then we immediately destroyed it. And then again it said, oh, you're going to lose all these features. And I'm like, yes I am, but guess what, I can come back and choose to re-add them at any time if I want to. Dan McPeg, yeah, my first video with over 1,000 views is a short. And look, shorts is not something that's they're different. So a 40-second short, sometimes, so if someone watches a short and then it starts replaying again, that counts as a second view. Remember, views aren't complete views. Views is just it. So shorts, by their definition, if they're super short and people watch it, you know how it rotates back and it goes and plays it again? That counts as 2 views. So things like your watch time percentage aren't going to be as good with shorts. Engagement's not as good with shorts because people don't tend to hang around to make a comment. And the like to dislike ratio I've found is a lot more, because people are literally scrolling through shorts, and if they see 2 seconds of something that they don't like, they'll just hit the dislike button and move to the next one. So you do have to be a little careful around that. So don't get super excited. Like the first time I had a TikTok video that had like 10,000 views in 3 days, I was like, wow. And you know what that equates to? virtually nothing. So I don't say that to say, oh, it's not important. It is, and it's still a good thing and a good achievement. But 10,000 YouTube views on a 10-minute video is very different to 10,000 views on TikTok or Instagram Reels or even YouTube Shorts, just because of the nature of how it's counted and because of the engagement of that. Is it still a good thing? Yeah, absolutely, it is. Rena, I've grabbed your question there. If anyone else does have any questions and you are here live, all you need to do is put a big Q right in the front of your question, and then you will be good to go. Yeah, I don't get it, because that's the thing. I'll show you. I'll show you the shorts thumbnail thing, because previously what you could do, and I think if you upload it, see now my content doesn't separate it by shorts. All right. So what it does on the mobile app is very different to this. So here's the screen. So you've got videos, you've got live, you've got posts, but the shorts are kind of integrated here into the regular videos. So if we go back to, where's the last short that I did that was down here, that I could actually see. Now I can't see the short because what can we do? We can filter it by the length, can't we? Filter it by, no, we can't. Oh man, I can't even remember what it is, but yeah, it is stupid that you can't change that and that there's no separated short section here on the desktop app, but as soon as you go to the mobile app, it completely separates them out. Again, it's just YouTube or Alphabet being inconsistent across the different platforms. And look, yeah, am I biting the hand that feeds me because most of my income is reliant on YouTube? Yeah, a little bit, but I think that so that's the true freedom of speech. I know that other people, and I'm deliberately not talking about our special friend this week because I'm just over it, but I know some people think that freedom of speech means a very different thing. But like they say in The Princess Bride, it's like I don't think that phrase means what you think it means. And to me, freedom is the ability to actually say, hey, guess what? I love YouTube. YouTube are great. YouTube pay my bills. There are some things that YouTube do that drive me batty. And the same thing goes for Apple. The same thing goes for GarageBand. And I like that. I would hate to be in a position where I was beholden to only say good things. Yes, the king is dead. Long live the king. No, we don't have that. We do have the freedom to be critical of things, even things we like. Hello to folks who've joined us here. Hello to Rez Marax from Canada, by the looks of it. Hello to you. Hope you are doing well, my friend. A good tip here from Dan Ekberg. Be careful. It's quite the right aspect ratio it will upload as a regular video. Yeah. So do make sure. So to upload a short, it's got to be 60 seconds or less, generally. TikTok and other places have started experimenting with like 3-minute videos, but generally you want your short to be 60 seconds or less. And technically it can be square. It can be a 1:1 ratio, but you're better off to be a 9:16, which is the opposite of 16:9, which is a aspect ratio that is a vertical video that is going to be supported by all those platforms. So definitely do that and you will be good to go. Pete Nimmin. Yes, I'll change my channel to a YouTube only thing. Rena, yes, I'm going to blame the fuzzy brain for everything, but yes, girly t-shirts coming. I need to, I actually said that to my daughter the other day. I said, Jazz, you should design me some better merchandise, because I'm like, you're all over the TikToks and the YouTubes. You know all these YouTubers and creators that do the merch. So I think we need a refreshed merchandise line either in the next week or so if I can get my ass into gear, or definitely in the new year, because we need some different stuff, and we need some things that are going to be good for all folks, because not everyone, especially my wife. We did one experimental one, Rena. I think I talked about this last time, that my wife wasn't happy with, because she said the logo was way too low, and she's like, yeah, no, I don't want it on my tummy, I want it on my chest. And I'm like, ding. All right. Yes, exactly right. Do not, don't make them 60 seconds. So the video I did was 41 seconds. If you can be 15 seconds, do that. If you can be 10 seconds, do that. The shorter, the better. Just remember that you'll get those looped views if you do a shorter short. But what I love is, because speaking of my wife, one of the things she says about the internet in general, but especially video content, is she's like, I hate when people deliberately take too long to say something that can be said short. And I have this problem too. Like on this very show, I'll rant for 2 minutes about a topic, and then someone like Thomas Christ will say, or you could just say this. The internet is full of trolls. I'll rant for 2 minutes about why the internet needs to be better, and then Thomas is like, "Don't feed trolls," and I'll be like, "Yeah, okay, that actually says it in a lot less letters." So yeah, and what my wife used to hate is, have you ever seen those videos where they're like, okay, in today's video, we're going to show you how to do this because it's really important that you know how to do this. And once you know how to do this, you'll feel really good. And the other things you can do once you know how to do this are this and this and this. And stay till the end for an extra tip on how to do this. And it's like, just tell me what to do. And do you know the reason for that? Do you know the main reason for that? It's because YouTubers are evil. We are. We are evil, and we are money hungry, greedy, grubby folks. And that's because if we want to add a mid-roll ad, our video has to be, it used to be 10 minutes, now it's 8 minutes. And I bet you soon it'll be 5 minutes because they want to cram those ads in there. But if we want to add a mid-roll ad, so that's those ads that pop up at a point in a show like now, then we need to have it longer than 8 minutes. Now, when you're doing a live stream like I am, it's actually easy to do because obviously it's going to be longer than 8 minutes. But if you've ever seen a video that's 8 minutes and 1 second and you're like, that could have been done in 6 or 7 minutes. Yeah, it could have. The creator has probably stretched it out to just over 8 minutes. Davey504 was the worst for it. Did you ever watch one of his videos where at the end it would just be 30 seconds of him going, brilliant, excellent, epic, or whatever he used to say, all those catchphrases? Yeah, that was because he did 7.5 minutes of content and needed an extra 30 seconds to give you the extra bit of advertising. Yeah. All right, let's go and answer this question. I'm going to have some delicious Farmers Union iced coffee, hashtag not sponsored. And I shouldn't drink this because dairy does not agree with me. Cut to the second half of the show and Pete's like, okay, folks, we're going to go. Do you think people making music in shorts will kill albums? It's tough enough to get people to watch a 3-minute song. This is a great question. And I'm probably going to rant on this. Speaking of short and long form content, I'll probably rant on this for a while. I would love your opinion. So if you're here live or if you're watching on the replay, then please do answer the question. It is a really good question, and I'll tag some of your responses in a moment. But yeah, do let me know what you think on this. My view on this is, and Jade mentioned it when we were chatting about shorts, and she was saying what she was doing. I think shorts are just an alternative form. And I think a lot of the time, the short form content can actually lead into the longer form content. So I've been doing this for a while. If you've seen some of my shows, you will have seen that occasionally I'll put on a little preview when it's a live stream or when it's a premiere that's like 30-second clips of that video. Or it's just an introduction saying, hey, on this week's Your Music Live, we'll be playing a whole bunch of your best tunes. Tune in live from blah, 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 blah. So I think that the short can be the little taster. And it's similar to what I do on Your Music Live, I reckon, Russ, which is I don't play a whole song. I play 1 or 2 minutes, and then if people really dig it. So what I think it means is, and this is the case right across the internet and right across society, is that as saturation of music and content in general has increased and attention spans have decreased, it's created this bigger gap in terms of the quality that you need to have. And that's why I say things like the Lily Pillies do, where they do like behind the scenes, they do remix versions, they get collaborators on boards, they share a lot of the backstage sort of stuff. I think that really helps. I think the days of just putting a single out there with no fanfare, and you know this because you know the promotion game as well, you send me hats because you're cool. But yeah, the days of just putting a single out and having people come to it are gone. I think artists now have to spend a lot more time on the promotion, and short form content is just part of that promotion. But yeah, look, I share your concerns that yeah, sitting down, like I can't tell you the last time I sat down and listened to an album. It was probably the Delicate Friggin' Giants, to be honest, because that works as a whole album. And again, I'll stick that on in the background while I'm doing other things because it's just such great music. But when was the last time I sat down and listened to a full-length studio album end-to-end? I used to love listening to Anima by Tool or OK Computer by Radiohead or even, the classics, Nevermind by Nirvana. I don't do it anymore because we're in a playlist culture, we're in a singles culture, and when I listen to music, I want variety. And maybe my attention span has also been impacted by what we've been seeing in the future. But yeah, I think that there's definitely a place for it. I think there'll always be a place for albums, but are there less people listening to albums now than there were 10 years ago? Yes, absolutely. And are there more people that are probably wanting the shorter form content? Equally, yes, I think so. Yeah, and as Jay says here, I don't believe so. They're great for pushing people to your music. Yeah, I think so too. I think that they're like the taster, and if your options are they're not going to look at it or listen to it at all, or you can give them 30 seconds and then maybe they'll come and check out the rest, you kind of got to go for the 30 seconds, don't you? Otherwise, no one's going to come. It's not a case of if you build it, they will come anymore. But yeah. Exactly. 30 seconds is good to get that double up. Exactly. If you just want the vanity metrics on your short form content, make it really short. Some people have got 4 second videos that have got, millions of views. They've probably actually only got about 200,000 views, but people watch it and rewatch it. And that's actually a valid technique too. If you do something so quick that people are like, oh, wait, what was that? It's the opposite of like what I do on a longer form video where I'll make sure it's at the right pace so that people can keep up. Sometimes the exact opposite is a great strategy for a short video. Make it so quick and so mysterious that people are like, what was that? What did I just watch? And then they'll watch it again and again and again. So we'll see. Thomas says ultimately there's a subset of people who will listen to music. The more of those folks you can reach, the better. And yeah, and again, there'll be people, like there's people right now that know the artists they like, and when an artist releases a new album, they will go listen to that album, regardless of what they promote. They're following them. They're like a pull. There's kind of push and pull, isn't there? So there's fans of an artist that are pull. So if I'm like that, if I see a new Jade Star or Thomas Christ or Delicate Giants come out, I will pull it. I will go and find it. I will have a pull. Well, I will pull that in. I'm being awfully saucy today. But then there's the push content, which is that people that don't know you and won't go and seek it out, how do they find it? And that's the promotion. That's the pushing of the content. Where a lot of folks get it wrong is the Play My Fire Beat crowd. The crowd that come in and spam your groups and spam your chats and spam various live streams, including the ones that I do, with their Play My Fire Beat. Play Chances by Blooble Blubble. And I'm like, I don't know who that is, and go away. Yeah. Look, yeah, gotta love Davey504. He's fine. He makes amusing content and he's a very talented dude. But like Mr. Beast, like all of these big YouTube, they don't get big by accident. They get big by understanding and exploiting the metrics and exploiting the platforms. And exploitation, maybe leveraging is a better word. Exploit sounds negative. You need to leverage. And I agree with that. When a platform puts something out new, I just noticed that TikTok have a thing that I don't even know what it is. If you know what this is, let me know. But TikTok have a thing called TikTok U. Oh no. What I hate about TikTok is the autoplay. As soon as I go into it, it starts playing stuff at me, and I don't like that. But when you go to the plus now, what it drops into is a TikTok now. And if you can see that, what it is, it's both sides of your camera. So it must be a thing which I'm going to I'll play with. It's counting down, and I don't know what that means. But I think you can record up to 3 minutes of video, and the idea is what you're doing now. So for me, if I was like at a gig, it would have like my face on one corner, and then it would have the gig, and I'd be like, I'm at a gig. Don't know why that would be the use case, but yeah, so there's different things. And the thing is, when a platform releases something new, they will actually pump that up. So if you're going for just organic growth and you're doing things, that's cool. But when a platform adds something new, so when YouTube added hashtags, you better believe I threw hashtags on everything because I knew that they would want to test out hashtags and see how productive they were. So they'd be pushing and amplifying content that had that in there. You can call it capitalism gone mad. You can disagree with it till the cows come home, and I'm definitely on that camp a lot of the time. But it's the reality, isn't it? Thomas says albums are already a niche thing because of streaming. Yeah, so I doubt it changes much. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Albums have probably been niche for about 10 years at least. We've had the playlist culture. As soon as Spotify hit the market, and as soon as everyone wanted to get themselves on playlists, I mean, I've never listened to a playlist. I've never gone to a Spotify curated playlist and listened to anything. So all these artists that are clamoring to get on these Spotify playlists, not going to have any impact on me. But enough people out there must be for it to actually be a thing. Anyway. Hello, transforming gravity. We've got deep gravity and transforming gravity. Now we just need defying gravity and falling from a plane due to gravity. Yeah, and again, that's probably my fault that you don't get people coming over from YML because there's too much. It's oversaturation, isn't it? We've talked about that before. There are so many channels playing so much music that I, for one, can't keep up. I can't watch 6 hours of Metalhead Hippie and then 4 hours of Thomas Christ and 2 hours of Ron Ward and 2 hours of my own show. because who's got 10 hours in a couple of days to listen to all that music? So you do have to be a lot more selective and pick and choose a little bit more. And it's a tough gig. I'm not saying it's easy at all. It is tough to do. I've just been pulling bits from my acoustic triple shots and it's driven some people to the full video. Yeah, and that's the other thing. If you go with that sort of thing, and I've started playing with stories. A lot of folks are coming onto Your Music Live because on my Instagram and my YouTube and my Facebook stories, I'll do a little video. You've probably seen me doing them. In fact, I'll do a demo of it right now because what I'll do is I'll go to Instagram. This is a weird show. I know we're getting off track with GarageBand, but you know what? Music is promotion. It is video. It is social media these days. So hopefully it's a bit relevant. Plus, like I said, foggy brain, haven't prepared a thing. So if I hit the plus button here on Instagram, down the bottom here, you can do a standard post, you can do a reel, you can do a live, or you can do a story. And what a story is it's a 15-second video that we can record and then share. So what I've been doing lately is I've been pointing it at the screen here now, and we'll do one right now. So I'm just going to take Dan's comment off the screen there. I'm going to say, hey folks, we are live right now with GarageBand Weekly. We've got a bunch of cool folks here chatting about all things GarageBand creating, music creation, home recording, home studio. Do drop over and join us. Just go to YouTube, search Studio Live Today, Pete Johns, GarageBand Weekly. I'll see you there. And that's recorded that, if we turn the volume up. And then I just hit post. And I put that on my story. I say share my story, and then I can even share it to the Studio Live Today Facebook group because Zuckerberg owns everything in the world. So just putting a little story like that out, when I'm doing YML, in the first couple of minutes, I'll put that out there, and then people see that on their stories, and they're like, oh, okay, I'll come on over. Oh, what's that playing? Oh, that's my my wife's cousin Liam playing some drums. He's an epic drummer. Let's listen to some. Liam Weedle. Great drummer. Anyway, I'll give him a heart. We're getting off track there. But yeah, so that's another sort of good promotional thing. And again, like a 15-second story on an Instagram or a Facebook or a YouTube thing of a band. Who do I see a lot? PA. Pronounce it alternative. PA has nailed it. She has behind the scenes stuff. She has little clips of her videos. She has little stories. She has little to camera pieces. And every time I open YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, PA is in my face. And you could say, well, isn't that quantity over quality, Johns? Shouldn't you actually be just doing, the curated, refined content? I don't think so. I think people these days just want to know what's going on. They want fresh, they want new, and then, they will become a fan. As soon as they start following you, and as soon as they start actually engaging with your content, then it just pushes more and more of your stuff. And, yes, have some people got sick of me because I put out too much stuff? Yeah, that's totally happened. But more people have actually discovered the channel and realized that there's cool people and a great community here. So that's the way I look at it anyway. Let's face it, we're all just here. We're all mostly old here and the youngsters don't give a crap about our music. Look, I actually love that statement. And here's why I love it. Because I love that some people don't give a crap about my music. And short of if you want to take over the world and if you want to sell 1 million records and if you want to be a famous recording artist and, sleep in a bed of money with many naked, beautiful women. If you want to go down that path, you go the Kanye West path or you go the other mentally challenged people. I'm really sorry, but Kanye West needs some serious help right now. Didn't talk about Elon, but now I'm talking Kanye. But yeah, I actually love that because it's the ultimate freedom, which is that you don't have to like what other people like and other people don't have to like what you like. Scroll past is the greatest thing in the world. Not everyone has to engage with everything you do, and nor should they. And it's why I get a little bit miffed when I hear so many people saying, make sure you go and subscribe to everybody. And look, I know that subscribing is a good way to support people if you like their content and if you plan to engage with what they put out there. But the worst thing you can do to an artist that you don't like is subscribe to their channel, because when they put out videos and you don't watch them, that damages them a lot more than if you just scroll past and don't engage. So, and it's the old 1,000 true fans. If you've heard about that concept, there's articles being written. I think there was a whole book written on it, which is the 1,000 true fans, which is that it is better to have 1,000 true fans who will support you through something like Patreon, who will buy your merch, who will stream your music, who will come to live shows, than to have 100,000 people who don't give a crap. And you know what I have? I got both. So I've got 1,000 true fans. The people that are here in the live chat, you that are watching this on the replay in the first 24 hours of this video, you're the 1,000 true fans. there are 100,000 other people around this YouTube channel because they're subscribed. But guess what? They've probably watched 2 or 3 videos. They found something that was cool and then they subscribed. Do I begrudge you? Hello, if that's you. Do I begrudge you for subscribing? No. Did I probably encourage you to subscribe on the video? Yes. So that's all cool. But yeah, it is a different thing. It's a different thing to have engaged people versus just people that are there because they feel obliged to. So don't feel obliged to support anyone and their music. Just like what you like and let other people like what they like. Thomas said, I've said it before, but this is the first generation of kids without a music culture. Culture revolves around video games and movies. That's a great point. This is a really good point, Thomas. And look, the music culture wasn't great. So when I was in high school, there were the grunge kids. No surprises for guessing where I was. So there were the grunge kids. There were like the hip hop, rap, R&B kids, and there were the I'm into other things kids, like not necessarily music. But you know what? The hip hop kids and the grunge kids, we did not get along. Like grunge kids thought that hip hop, you're playing a beat, you've got a record playing, and you're just rapping over the top. We thought that was crap. These days, thankfully, I actually really enjoy a lot of hip-hop music, and I think it's super talented what folks can do with sampling, what folks can do with remixing. It's amazing stuff. But you kind of had to have that. And so there were those negative parts of the culture, but the positive parts of the culture were amazing. My culture was that me and mates would go to the record stores on the weekends and we'd go rifling through the CDs. I mean, I was in the 90s, so it was CDs, and finding like the Nirvana and Pearl Jam bootlegs and discovering some new underground Adelaide band that no one had heard about and buying their EP, and then going to the counter and chatting to the dude that smelt like weed with the long hair about what the cool bands were and up and coming bands in the country. And that's the sort of thing that I think you're right, Thomas. We don't really have that, or kids don't have that culture these days. And even those that do, I don't really understand it. I mean, at the risk of sounding like the old guy, I don't understand the sort of beat making culture. And it's like all these collaborations. It's like it's a Juice World type beat featuring Jizzy J, produced by Wingle Wangle. And it's like you listen to this song, and the first 30 seconds is all these little stabs of like yo blee blee on the production, yap yap. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like they're not bands, they're not artists. They're just everyone's just putting a little bit of something out there into something and mixing it all up and throwing it out there. So. Yes, you can summarize all that, Thomas, by saying old man yells at cloud, but it's a bloody good point. And I do need to ask my kids about everything. They need to know about everything. Hello, Autism Rocks, jazz hands to Micah and Danny. Micah and Danny know about promotion. They do some very clever things around the promotion of things in terms of engaging with other artists, in terms of getting their stuff out there in a positive and impactful way. So, yes, if you want to learn about things, look at the people that are doing things successfully. Autism Rocks are doing good things. Deep Gravity says, my son listens to Taylor Swift and more pop stuff on Spotify. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like my kids listen to more poppy type stuff. And it's obviously, it's what they like. Pop music is called pop music because it's popular at the end of the day. Don't forget that. Dan Ekbeck says, I thought it was awesome. Someone commented on my short, your content is great. I just subbed. There you go. Just sub them up. Boom. There you go. One of these days you'll get there. Absolutely. Tommy Jack says, it's TikTok trying to copy new social media platforms. Be real. There you go. So that was So if you don't know about Be Real is a terrifying app because what it does is you use your phone and at a random time, it gets you to take a photo, but it uses both cameras. So you have to take a photo of what you're doing. I don't know about you, but there's times in the day that I don't want anyone to see. I barely want to see myself what I'm doing. So I'm a little bit worried by that. But yeah, the idea is that, it's Be Real. It's like a real view of what you're doing. So yeah, I thought it might be something like that. Once a day you post exactly what you're doing now. And okay, so I guess it's different. So you get to choose with the TikTok now. So you can only post once a day and you post what you're doing right now. I wonder if we could try it. So do you have to do 3 minutes of it? We're doing all the experimentation here today. So I've loaded up the talk. Oh, I've got an ad for some game. What is it for? Fortnite. See, side rant, but TikTok, for someone that has all of my data, you don't know a lot about me if you're advertising Fortnite to me when I open up the app, because the one thing I'm not going to do is play Fortnite. I don't play many video games, and the ones I do are not violent first person chase around shoot 'em up world games. So yeah, learn, improve your algorithm, TikTok. But yeah. So if we go to this now thing, so it's okay. So as soon as you press it, it's doing stuff because it's already doing stuff here. Maybe it's too dangerous to play around with it now because, but it's counting down from 3 minutes. So do I have 3 minutes to just? Is it just taking a photo, or is it a video? Let me just try it. I don't really know what this is, but people on my YouTube live stream told me that I should try it out. So here we go. I'm doing a live stream right now on YouTube called GarageBand Weekly. All right. Everyone can view. And all right. So it gives you that, and it's. All right. Shush. All right. So it says I've got like 2 minutes left. So I'm assuming I could redo it. I could delete it and repost it or whatever. I could download it by the looks of it. And it says it would expire in 3 days. So I guess it's like a story, but a very real time, double ended story. Just make sure there's nothing dodgy in the background. All right. I'll share it. I'll play along. There you go. You can follow me on TikTok. I'm at Pete Johns, by the way, if you want to check out my TikToks as well. The things we do, hey? The things we do for content. Yada, 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 yada. Awesome, weird. Oh, yeah. Oh, Yoda. Yo, 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 yo. I thought they said yada, yada. Yo, 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 Yoda. I wonder if we could get a copyright claim. I would love a copyright claim for Weird Al. Should I do some Weird Al songs on the next happy hour? I think I should. G'day, Zach Thong. Speaking of supportive folks, Zach Thong is one of the most supportive folks I've seen on any of the channels around here, a part of the community. Unreal how technology has upended the industry in every which way. Yeah, and it's a really good point, Bob. It has upended the industry, and it's probably, I like to think that it's 60-40, positive and negative. I think the fact that I'm talking to you right now, the fact that we own GarageBand on our phones and our tablets and our Macs, even though we haven't actually really done much GarageBand today, I think those things are really amazing. And I say we live in the future. The things that we have that we didn't have 10, 20, 30 years ago are amazing. Have they brought with them some challenges that we're working through? Absolutely. And I think as long as people, that's why, I could have made the tagline of this channel, technology, promote, synergize, but I didn't, because I wanted to be create, record, release. Because regardless of the technology, whether you're using a freaking 4-track tape machine from 1984 or you're using a 2022 iPhone 4 Pro Max, does it really matter? Isn't it just a good song that you record and then share as music? So I think, sometimes I just go, let's get the technology out of the way and let's just make sure that people are creating, recording, and releasing music. Rena, I've grabbed your question and tagged, and I'm just going to scroll down to make sure I've covered all the questions or comments that we've got here. I was just typing that. I don't know what I said, but yeah, if you're typing something and I said it, sorry to beat you to the punch. I care about your music and everyone else's. Hey, yeah. That's the thing, I care about people creating music. Even if I don't like your particular style of music, I love that you create it, and I'll never begrudge anyone. If you like Scandinavian yodeling, and that's your favorite and your best, more power to you. And I've actually probably will watch you do some if you present it in a really cool way, I'll watch it. Auntie G, I've been seeing her everywhere too. So Auntie G is Gertrude, our friend from Norway via South Africa, who's a country music fan and plays a lot of country songs. Yeah, she's an amazing person, and she makes great music. Is it the sort of music that I would go and listen to? Was Pete Johns in the 1990s trailing through the CD racks at Big Star Records looking for country albums? No. But because I know Auntie G and because she promotes herself in such a fun and interesting way, I want to know all about it. I want to know. I want to see her hometown and the beautiful scenery in Norway. I want to hear what she's got to say about her creative process. And that's the difference, I think, now compared to the past. That's one of the great things about now versus the past. I had no idea. When I was watching the blood-sucking freaks or the cosmic psychos, I didn't know them. I couldn't go and meet them. I couldn't see the behind the scenes of their rehearsals, or I couldn't see them on video. I just had to go to the CD store and buy their CD, and then if I was lucky, I could go to a gig and see them on stage for an hour. But these days, if I'm following these bands, I can see all the behind the scenes and all the bits and pieces and know what's going on. And I think that's really cool. I think it's a good thing. Hello to Lou Reality. I managed to catch a bit of Lou Reality show today. I've realised that you're on just before. See, I'm missing Jade. During the summertime, I miss most of Jade Star's shows because that's school time getting ready. So that's where I'm preparing the kids and getting the kids off to school between 7:30 and 8:30 my time. Whereas Leela, I got up a bit earlier this morning, again, because my brain is broken and I can't seem to get my sleep patterns down at the moment with the whole post-COVID thing. But yeah, I managed to catch some of Leela today. So do go and catch Lou Reality. She does. And Leela, your shows, the quality of your shows have, and this is going to sound like a backhanded compliment, I don't mean it to be, but your presentation is improving and getting better and better. Every time I watch you present and put videos out there and do live shows, it is better and better. You are crushing it, my friend. So good job. Hello, Tremor Bear as well. There's a bear in there. 1,000 true fans is a hut. Look, that's the thing. If it's not your full-time gig, you might not need 1,000 true fans. The reason that I need 1,000 true fans, or at least somewhere close to it, is that this is my full-time gig. And I've got to support a family of 4. I mean, my wife also works, so I've got to support half a family of 4 by doing what I do here. So I do have to worry a bit more about promotion. I do have to worry a bit more about how I can monetize, that monetize word, monetize my videos and what I do here. But if you're an artist and it's your side hustle, I was doing this as a side hustle for 7 years, and I don't need no 1,000 fans. So yeah, I think I say that, but don't get caught up on the whole 1,000 thing, because maybe you have 50, maybe you have 100, maybe you have 10. You know what's radical is that 20 years ago, if you were an acoustic artist or an artist like you are, Dan, or like I am, if you had 20 people that followed you around and went and saw you at gigs at pubs, you'd be stoked. You'd be blown away if you could play at pubs and 20 people. And maybe they would bring a friend or a couple of friends along, and maybe you'd have 60, 70 odd people in a pub singing along to your tunes. How good would that be? So I think the one thing that the internet has done is it's amplified those numbers to such an extreme that the vanity metrics make you feel like, unless you've got hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of people supporting you or subscribing to you, that your value is somehow deteriorated. Whereas some of my favorite people, some of my favorite artists, some of my favorite channels to watch, they might have 50 or 100 or 1,000. Like it's not about that. In fact, what happens is the ones that actually get too successful too quickly, they don't sell out. Like, I don't believe in the whole sellout thing, because I don't like the whole, oh, you sell out because you're trying to monetize. No. If someone gets a sponsor, if someone starts running ads, if someone starts selling merch to leverage, like we said before, to leverage their success through music, through creating in GarageBand or through whatever else, more power to them. But sometimes if people grow too quickly, they do things like promote NFTs and cryptocurrency scams. And what's the latest one? That Magic Land title thing, where you could become a lord or lady in Scotland if you bought this thing, turns out to be a giant scam. Most of us kind of thought that was the case to begin with. But yeah, so a lot of these YouTubers, and if someone dangles $1,000 to make one video that might take you 15 minutes, if they sponsor your video, yeah, maybe you don't do your due diligence to go behind the scenes and see what it is. So yeah, I say all that to say that, sometimes when people are too successful too quickly, they lose sight of why they got into it in the first place. And I say that because a lot of people say to me, I get emails every day from people like, oh, I really like your channel, but I work for a marketing company and we could 10x your growth in the next year. You could have a team of people working for you. We could do this. And I'm like, I do this because I wanted to get out of the corporate world. I've managed teams of people. I've worked in corporate high-pressure environments. I do this because I love music and I love people and I love sharing the joy of creating music. So if I go down that track, what am I going to be? I'm going to be a highly stressed executive again, managing a team of people and not having control over the creative output. That doesn't sound like fun at the end of the day. Not to me anyway. If that's your thing, more power to you. Hello, Vidal and the Shadowy Figures. I hope you are doing well. Great to see you here. Hello to Gary Hubbs. Oh, mate, there's been some yelling at clouds. I gotta tell you. The key today is to get on a GTA soundtrack or get your music on straight. It is. And what is the latest one? That Wednesday Adams. Wednesday Adams. Is it just called? No, it's called Wednesday. What is it called? Do the Cuckoo or something? Someone got it for me. Um, Wednesday TV show. Let's see if I can find it for dance. So what was it? Wednesday Adams dance scene. What did she dance to? It was like an old school 80s tune, and people are like, oh, this is going to be the next one. This is going to be the next. Oh, here's an article on it, the Radio Times. So apparently, and those that are more into their pop culture than me will know this. Yes, I'll take your cookies. But it was like an old school album, old school song. No, I can't find what it is. Why is it not naming freaking song? What song is playing? There you go. The Goo Goo Muck. There you go. By the Cramps. So the Cramps were like a band from the 80s, and it's called Goo Goo Muck. And yeah, that's going to be apparently the next running up that hill. The next whatever the popular, whatever the kids are watching and memeing on TikTok that's been on some Netflix show. That's the way to do it. Yeah. So it's not even just the syncing anymore. It's the you just got to be lucky enough that some retro show will use your song and have someone famous dance to it, and you're golden. You get there. The video game industry makes more money than the music and movie industries combined. Video games is massive, and we could talk for hours about that, and I won't, I promise you. But just to say that the predatory nature of microtransactions in the video game industry kind of sickens me. And I really hope that what we can do in the music industry is avoid that, because if the gamification of music creation happens to where people are paying little bits of money for, oh look, you want that trumpet sound, pay $2.99. You want that cool loop, you can license it for $7.99. I mean, we've got a little bit of that, but it's not as bad. But yeah, the reason that video games are so massive, like if you look at the bottom line, and I'm a bit of a nerd with this stuff, so look at the bottom line. I think the reason that something like Fortnite is free is that they make so much money on the microtransactions that they don't have to charge for it. But even worse, so a game that I play called NHL 23, because I'm a giant hockey fan, I play that game, and I'm what's called a free-to-play player. I'm an F2P. Free-to-play, brah. But there are pay-to-play people who pay hundreds of dollars to buy fake hockey cards to put players on their team so that they can play online against other people and flex how cool their team is in the Ultimate Team mode. And again, more power to you if you've got the disposable income to do that, but it creates this culture that unless you are spending the big bucks to get the big teams or the whatever the Fortnite things are, the big skins or weapons or items or whatever it is in your game, then you're not worthy. And it kind of reminds me of the whole music thing, that unless you've got all the Waves plugins, or unless you've got all the great gear, if you don't have a Shure SM7, I will probably never buy a Shure SM7B, simply out of spite, out of the fact that everyone else has one. And I don't want to be like everyone else. I'm deliberately bucking the trend and not wanting to be like other people, which makes me a stubborn old man, doesn't it, at the end of the day? So maybe I need to go and buy a Shure SM7B. Or maybe not. Trailer Swift. Oh, cool band name, Trailer Swift. And you could just do like redneck trailer park versions of Taylor Swift songs. You need to calm down. You're being too loud. And I just say, oh, 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 oh. Trailer Shift. Trailer Shift would be a good one too. Man, this has been an off the rails kind of show, but I hope that you're having fun anyway. I dropped my pizza slice. I dropped my avocado slice. I dropped all my slices. Super jazz hands. Hello, Jeremiah Peterson. I heard a bad thing about Jeremiah. I heard that once he was a bullfrog, but he was a good friend of mine, so don't have to worry about that. Just me or hard to type on the YouTube chat. My friends, if you are on mobile, can we all please get angry about the fact that YouTube, if you're on a live stream on YouTube, you still cannot tag people on the YouTube live chat. Like, how ridiculous is it? Here I am on my own live stream, and if I want to say tag Gary Hubs and say, Gary, you dropped your pizza slice, and I go at Gary, it just goes, what? What do you mean at Gary? That doesn't make any sense. Yet on desktop, we've had it for 7 years. Put it on here. Your Google, your YouTube, you have all the money. I don't understand it. Oh yeah, getting angry at all those clouds. Pete goes viral? Probably not. Unless, how would I go viral? Like, I'd have to basically make a song that's like a parody song or something like that. You know what I should do? I should do like an old man version of that Goo Goo Muck song. I should do like an acoustic version of Goo Goo Muck, and like, or maybe like an emo version of it because it's like a kind of upbeat kind of song. Maybe I'll do something. I don't know, maybe not. Will we ever see DJ Dan Fango ever again? Who's DJ Dan Fango? Did I miss a meeting on that one? If I was a DJ, I would be Kitten Caboodle. That would be my DJ or my MC name. And welcome to the stage, MC Kitten Caboodle. I've heard DJ Dan Fango was he clapped by Vanilla Ice for copyright? Yeah, and by the way, Kitten Caboodle would play at Club Baby Seal. Because I don't know, that's always just been in my head. If I ever had a club, it would be called Club Baby Seal. And I would be the DJ and I'd be Kitten Caboodle. All in for the Weird Al happy hour? Yeah, should totally do that, shouldn't we? Let's go. Let's go with some Weird Al, because why not? Weird Al is fun. Arnie G works with some pretty good musicians too. Ha ha, she does. She picks and chooses. She only works with middle-aged white dudes. Andy Goldsby, Gary Hubbs. Just saying. Alrighty. Robin, hello to you. Listening to your advice, I've learned recently to pull back to and focus more on content instead of tech. Yeah, and good job on that one, because I think too often we get caught up in the wave of, and look, I'm guilty of it too. I'm far from perfect. I have all the flaws. Don't worry about that. But we get caught up in the wave of shiny gear and tech and apps and all that jazz. Whereas really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, no one is listening to your latest song going, I wonder which plugin they use for that reverb. Unless they really love it. And then they're like, what plugin did you use for that reverb? I love it. But more often than not, they're just like, that sounds awesome. So yeah, it's got to be about the music, doesn't it? At the end of the day, it's all about the music. Jeremiah, a Cakewalk user here, but I like Pete John stream, so I'm here watching a GarageBand. And look, as you've probably noticed, Jeremiah, we're not really talking GarageBand here today. So I've gone off on some tangents here today because just for fun. Because it's fun. And you folks have some great comments, some great points, and I thought that we'd be able to get into one of these sort of streams. I do still have a question from Rena. I will get to that one too, by the way, Rena. I'm sorry I haven't forgotten about you. You're just all saying a lot of things, which is great, which is very cool. All right, I'll just scroll down here because I'm going to see if we've got any other questions. Leela says, I'm so embarrassed I got the title thing for my ex when she got her new birth certificate and driver's license, so she'd be lady as a novelty. Yeah, look, and I know people that have bought them and have got them, those title things, but you can't vet everything, and it's not your fault. That's the thing. People that get scammed, and scammers in general, it's the scammers that are the problem. I've been scammed. If you've been scammed, a lot of people have been scammed. Sometimes things, you just go with it. And some scams are so good that you get too far in deep. And the biggest example of this is there's a guy, who's the scammer guy? I've forgotten his name. He's got like a really boring name. Thomas Christ or other people will know him. Not Scammer Payback. Oh man, I'm blanking on it. Again, the brain. But he got scammed. Like a scam baiter got scammed by a YouTube scam and they deleted his channel. And if that can happen to one of the best scam baiters on YouTube, then yeah, imagine what can happen to us normies. Yeah, the Cramps have some good goth rockabilly punk tunes. Yeah, maybe we'd have to do a cover of that. Why don't I jump on a bandwagon for a change? Why not? Yes, and I look much cooler without the ubiquity. Yeah, exactly. I look kind of old school. I'm like an old school radio announcer here without that one. Oh, there's my Gary. That's how far I am behind there. Am I the warm-up act for Ron Ward? Yeah, man. Groovy. Yeah, right on. At Pete. There you go. Yeah, what's the point of handles if we can't... Exactly, and that's the other thing, Thomas. YouTube have just made a big deal of the fact that they've added handles. And we can't use them on mobile. And you know what? There's more people watching on mobile than on desktop these days. Like, by far. I don't know the current split. It's something like 80-20 that are watching on a mobile device now compared to the majority of the video content's on a mobile device. Apple does have all the money. They've got trillions, trillions. I'm still getting used to all the. I know they are so multicolored. Again, YouTube wants to be Twitch. TikTok wants to be Real. Like everyone just wants to be something else. What happened to playing to your strength? To being in a niche and enjoying your niche? Why does everything have to be like everything else? Do you really have to? Does it really actually work though, Coldacre? Does it work to tag them if you type the whole thing out? I'll have to try that. I'll put it in here. But see, I couldn't do Reality because she's got too many things. Let's try it with Russ8889. He's an easy one. Russ is an easy one to do. I don't need to do that tip. But let's just say if I go, hey there, and let me know in the chat if this actually works, if it actually tags Russ. Hey there at Russ8889. And if I put that in there, let me know. Because on mobile, you can't see it. It also doesn't bring up the blue hyperlink when someone has been tagged. It does when someone tags you, but not when... Oh, it's weird. It's weirdness. I don't get it. But yeah, we'll try that. We'll see if it does that. Scrolling down, I don't think I've got any other ones. Hello, Keonra, by the way. Not saying Android users are weird, just me. Yeah, no, Android users are pretty weird. No, they're fine. So yeah, there's my Rust. So hopefully it worked well. Chatting on mobile, Pete's on a big screen too. I better back away. You don't need me. Although I'm kind of zoomed out, so that's all right. You don't need me. If I was up here, hi, that would be weird and creepy. Have you seen some people's live streams where they're so zoomed in, it's just like a little square around their face? They're like, hi. Like, Jesus, that's a bit rough. We don't need that much high definition, do we? Righty. To be fair, to be fair, you just flick a switch on new features without breaking the entire code. Things need to be tested. I'm sure handles are in the pipeline. Yeah, I'm sure they are now as well. But it's just been a long time that you've been able to @tag people on desktop for so many years that not being able to do it on mobile just makes me a little sad. I'm always on a phone. I tag simple names, hashtag. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So I don't know. I don't know what that is. Did I have anything that I said we'd talk about that we didn't? Oh, I did. So we got so off track. I said we were going to talk about powered USB hubs. Just use them. I've had a heap of questions in the last week about power issues with audio interfaces on both iOS and on Mac. And the answer to almost every question related to my blah USB device is not working reliably is not getting enough power. If you're using a MacBook or if you're using a Mac Mini, that USB power, don't forget that's sharing that power with all the other devices. So if you're plugging in things like monitors, audio interfaces, webcams, microphones, all the works, that's using a lot of power. So get yourself either one of those little desktop stations, a docking station, a port replicator type thing, or a simple powered USB hub. I've got an 8-port Atola powered USB hub sitting there. It plugs into one USB port on my Mac Mini, and everything plugs into it. It just means everything else is powered up. My Zoom live track, my Focusrite Scarlett, my webcam that you're looking at here, everything is powered up, and I have never had any power issues. And I've got the same thing. I've got a 10-DAC 4-port powered USB hub that has my drive that I use on my iPad, as well as my Steinberg UI22C. Never had a power issue, not once, because they are separately powered, and it means that the iPad just has to worry about running itself, and the Mac just has to worry about running itself. So that's all I wanted to say about powered USB hubs. The other thing I wanted to say is, don't forget, if you're running out of space, I've got questions about this during the week as well. If you're running out of space on your iOS device, there's a really easy place to go. And most of you know this, but if you go into your General tab and you go to iPhone storage, it'll actually bring up, you can't see it there, but a little graph, a little chart there showing you your total storage and what's using all of the storage there. It takes a couple of minutes. Just let it run in the background there for a while. In fact, what I could probably do is show you a lot clearer on my iPad screen. Duh. You've got an iPad plugged in, Johns, and it's the same thing. It works the same. So if we do it here on my iPad, all you need to do is go to your settings by swiping down, typing in the word, not ettings, type settings, and go to your settings app, then go to General and go to top iPad storage. You can see here I've got 512 gigabytes. I've only used 152. I've got plenty of storage to spare here. And you can do a few things. I wouldn't recommend offloading your apps. I find that feature is dodgy. Oh, the ranges are starting. That means it's nearly time to go. Your iCloud photos you can enable, and you can auto-delete old Messenger conversations. But here's where it will tell you everything that's using up space. So like for me, I'm like, Kimatica AB, I don't use that at all. I could easily get myself 13 gigabytes back. iCloud Drive, yeah, that's always going to have stuff. Messages, LumaFusion, but a lot of them, things like YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and Twitter and TikTok, they store a lot of cache. And if you're finding that some of your apps, and look, I don't use them a lot on this device, so they're not actually that big, but things like Facebook in particular, see how Facebook is 393 megabytes? I've had Facebook as big as 2 gigabytes on my iPhone before, and it's the same with things like Netflix, because sometimes you'll download shows or movies that you've forgotten about, so you can free up space a lot of the time by deleting the app and then reinstalling it here. So YouTube is 284 megabytes. I think it's about 100 megabytes when you first download it, so it stores some cache, it stores a lot of things, and when you delete it, it won't. I was telling my daughter about it this week, and she's like, "But will it delete my subscriptions? Will it delete my saved videos and stuff?" No, it'll only delete the data on your phone. Anything you've done on the cloud, on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever, it saves all of that. It's just going to delete anything off the phone. So the only thing you have to worry about is if you've saved offline videos or if you've got specific things that are saved to that device, then you'll need to not delete them there. But you can save yourself a lot of hassle by just going in, deleting an app, and reinstalling it. And that's another little tip I thought I'd throw out there before we finish the show, because if you're like me, you're always running out of space. And even though I've got 512 gigabytes on my phone because I edit a lot of video on there, I often have to go in there and delete old videos and clean up LumaFusion and clean up other things as well. There you go. Go do a cleanup. Do a cleanup and backup. Make December your cleanup and backup month. Start the new year with all your stuff backed up and all the crap cleaned off your phone and your iPad and your computer. You'll feel 1,000 times better. Can you just clear the cache like on a phone? Sort of. So some apps will let you clear the cache. There's somewhere deep within the YouTube app that lets you do it. I found personally that it doesn't get rid of everything. It still keeps a lot of stuff on there, and that the best, and look, it's dead simple. If you use the iCloud keychain on your iOS devices, Rena, it will keep your password and everything as well. So all you need to do is delete the app, reinstall the app, log back in, and you're exactly back to where you started from. So yeah, I think some of them do have some cache cleaning ideas, but yeah, I would just delete it personally. Dan says that Thomas needs to do a hangout on your live stream setup. I need to get some inspiration to get back into it. Yeah, there you go. You should totally share that. I've done it before with my stuff. If you're interested, when was the last time I did a live stream setup? Live stream. Pete John's live stream setup. Oh, it was 5 months ago. So if you wanna check out how and this is all still pretty current, I reckon. So you can see there it was a bit chaotic because I used like a second camera there. I'll throw this in the chat here for folks to check out. But yeah, you can see there I have my iPhone and I showed you behind the scenes, and that's exactly what I'm looking at right now. The exact same cables, the same stuff plugged in there. My Mac Mini in the corner, my Focusrite Scarlett, my Zoom Live Track L8. They're all the things that are sitting on my desk right now. And I'm sure I scroll over and show you my iPad. Yeah, and that's exactly what my iPad setup looks like right now as well in the corner. And that's the iPad that I use. So if you want to go check out, just search Pete John's live stream setup or use the link I've just pasted in the chat and you'll be good to go there. All right, there's one more question here from Rena. This is a great one to finish up on because I'll tell you about some upcoming shows in a moment. Have you or anyone written a Christmas or holiday song? And if you did you try to get it on any playlist? I read must be released by November 1 due to the UK. Oh, probably. Yeah, I think the ship has sailed, so to speak, in terms of getting Christmas songs on Christmas playlists. A lot of the Christmas playlists are already set up and are already streaming from way back at the start of December. So I haven't. I've done I wrote a Christmas song last year called I Don't Want an NFT for Christmas, which I need to dig up and learn again for my Christmas happy hour that I'm doing in a couple of weeks. In weeks, actually, that's next week, isn't it? Am I doing the Christmas? What are we, the 13th? Yeah, I might have to do the Christmas show next week. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. So yes, what was I saying there? I haven't actually done it, but if anyone else has got any advice for Rena around Christmas songs, around sharing Christmas songs, then do go ahead and do that and let her know. So if you're watching on the replay, maybe go and help out. Alrighty. I was going to ask Leela if you've had to start offloading apps like I have. You certainly have more than I do. Oh yeah, 64 gig on the iPad is tough work. Hello Sebastian. Since I cannot update a few apps on my iPad, yeah, and that's the problem. You will run into that storage space problem. So go. I've got a video as well. Check that out. On storage, just go Pete John's low storage. You'll find that. LumaFusion is not available for Windows. It is available for Android though. So you can get LumaFusion on Android tablets or phones, as well as iPads and iPhones and Macs running M1. So even though it is an iOS app, an iPad app, you can go into your App Store on your Mac and download or buy and download LumaFusion. It works quite well on a Mac. Or a Kraftwerk Christmas style. It's like, ho, 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 it's a very Merry Christmas. Ho, 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 it's a gonna be a Christmas. That's my Kraftwerk? Jeebus. That's rough. All right. A couple of things that are coming up. Yeah, so Thomas has a Christmas version of You Rock. Very cool. Speaking of Christmas versions of things, I have a Christmas version of Your Music Live. And if I was a smarter man, I would have already set up the link for this, but I'm doing that today. So what you need to do is you can come over to here and you can like it like I'm going to do. I'll share this in the link as well. But we're going to be doing a Christmas special of Your Music Live next week, which means that we'll be playing Christmas songs. I know some of you have already submitted Christmas songs. I'm going to set up a separate form for the Christmas songs. That will be linked down in the description of this video if you're watching on the replay. And, keep an eye on all the social media things and the newsletters and all the other bits. I'll make sure that there's plenty of warning. But it kind of snuck up on me because I was going to do it on Christmas Day. Because if you look at when Your Music Live usually happens, it'll be on the morning of the 26th for me, which will be Christmas Day. But you know what? By Christmas Day, and especially for me by Boxing Day, I'm out of the Christmas spirit. So I'm like, no, let's do it the week before, shall we? Let's do it on the 19th. So it'll be on the 19th of December at 8:30 a.m. for those here in Adelaide, or more likely on the 18th. So 1 week before Christmas to 2 p.m. LA, 5 p.m. New York, 10 p.m. London, England time. And you can go and check out the Christmas version of Your Music Live. I'll add the link to that and I'll put it on this show if you're watching on the replay. It'll already be there. I'll set up a separate form just for Christmas shows. Christmas music. So go ahead and share. And the other thing we'll be doing on that one is we'll be doing a bunch more Play My Fire Beats. So if you're there live, we'll basically just make it like a gift giving thing that every 15 or 20 minutes we'll do another draw and have a heap of random non-Christmas music to just to cleanse the palate. So we'll play 3, 4, 5 Christmas songs, and then we'll do a Play My Fire beat just to vary it up a little bit, and that could be my gift to you at Christmas time. The other thing I wanted to let you know about is a great Q&A show. So if you do have more questions that you didn't want to ask here, or you wanted a more qualified answerer, Mr. Lidge Shaw. If you don't know about Lidge, he is the proprietor of Recording Studio Rockstars, and that's a fantastic podcast, hundreds of episodes. He's interviewed everyone who's anyone in the recording industry, home recording, mastering engineers, mix engineers, producers, you name it, he's talked to them. And he's just a wealth of experience. And more importantly, he's a really cool, chill dude. So I think you're going to really enjoy having a chat with Lidge. So we're going to be hanging out for a couple of hours. We're going to be talking about all things home recording, home studio, and all the rest. So that one's coming up in just a few days' time on the 16th of December. That's Friday morning for folks here in Australia, or Thursday evening if you are in other parts of the world, straight after Jade Star's live stream. So do please join myself and Lid Shaw for some chats and some questions, some Q&A, and just some general home recording chatter. Should be a heck of a lot of fun. Do we have Ron Ward? Speaking of Ron Ward, someone mentioned Ron Ward before. Is he doing a live show today? He usually is. Let's see what we got. Yep, he's kicking off here in around about 50 minutes time. Maybe I should make this show later so I back straight into Ron. But you can jump over and you can check out Rockin' Ronnie Ward. What's he doing today? He's doing the master list. That wasn't the right one. So he's doing the master list, your tracks, plus premiering a new Strange Machine. Oh, new Ron music. See, Ron likes to play his own music on his shows. He's a shameless self-promoter. No, Ron is a good dude. We love Ron. Hands up who likes Ron. Yeah, We like Ron. All right, that is going to do it for this particular show. I do thank you for hanging out with me today. And you know what? It was a different kind of show. We kind of do one on, one off, don't we, these days? GarageBand Weekly's turned into 1 week all instructional, practical stuff, and then 1 week an hour of an old man ranting and yelling at clouds. So either way, I hope you enjoyed it and had some fun here today. If you did, you can hit the thumbs up button. Tells the YouTube robots to tell the other YouTube robots that you enjoyed it and maybe they would like to. You don't think you can share the show, you can share the channel, you can tell people about it. I know many of you have found this channel through a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend, and that's super cool because word of mouth is what we need in the digital age. And as we say at the end of every show, please this week, if you do nothing else, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, keep creating, and I'll see you next time on GarageBand Weekly. Bye for now.